Yeah, we're going in.
All right, so we've got Perry, Arsenal fan. We've got Matt and Seb, Man United fans, and we've got Christian, Chelsea fans. And we're gonna talk a little bit about the Champions League draw that took place. And we're just gonna go through the groups in order. But I think I think we'll start with Man United first. We'll start with the home draws first. So we'll start with Group B. We've got Dutch champions PSV Eindhoven. We've got Manchester United returning to the Champions League. We've got CSK Moscow. We've got Wolfsburg. What are you thinking, Man United fans? Seb, what are you thinking?
Yeah, man. I'm thinking it's a decent draw. Thought we could have taken. Like, I think the biggest challenges would be Wolfsburg, maybe. Yeah, I think it's a good draw. They're all winnable games. PSV, I mean, obviously it's a return for Depay, so that'll be an interesting watch. We should definitely come out top of that group from what I'm looking at after the performance you see against Club Brugge last two legs.
Definitely. What do you think, Matt?
The way I see it, because obviously PSV, the champions of the group, but I see them as the least threat. Them and CSK, I think, will finish bottom of the group and they won't go through. I think PSV are going to struggle losing Memphis and Wijnaldum in the summer.
You both sound confident.
Yeah, I like the draw. The threat for me in there is Wolfsburg. If we can go to Germany and get a result away, then I think we're looking at going through from that group, in my opinion.
Perry, is it an easy draw for Man United? What do you reckon?
Them away games, yeah. Them away games for United are going to take their toll on United's team, man. They're not easy away games, man.
Now that you're right, them cold nights in Russia are never going to be easy, but
It's the way.
They've got the artificial pitch as well, haven't they?
I think
Yeah.
United have it covered defensively at home. I think when they go into something like Moscow, Knights and that, I think it's going to be a different story, man.
Christian, what do you think about United's draw?
Yeah, I think Man United probably got one of the easier draws, probably along with Chelsea.
Talking of Chelsea's draw, we got Group G. We got Chelsea, Porto, Dynamo Kiev, Maccabi, Tel Aviv. So, Christian, you're a Chelsea fan. What do you think about your draw? We got
Relatively happy. I think most of the other boys have already said that's probably one of the easier draws. I mean, Porto are a good team, so I don't think that would be easy, especially going away to Porto. And I mean, going to like Ukraine and Israel. But I mean, I would fancy us to win at least all the home games. And certainly Tel Aviv and probably Kiev away, we should be winning that. So yeah, I'm pretty confident that we would get through that quite easily.
What do you think of Chelsea's draw, Perry?
They get lucky every year, so I think it's almost expected. I think Abramovich has got his hands in people's pockets, man. I don't know. No, I'm joking, but I don't know. Yeah, they seem to just get a lucky draw like every year. I'd love to have that draw and beat Arsenal, man. But overall, I think they got out of the English clubs. I'd say that Chelsea had the easiest draw. Looking at it, and I mean, like, they couldn't even draw like an Atletico, like just someone just to challenge them a bit. Like they're just gonna steamroll like these teams, man. I think over two legs they will anyway. Definitely not. It's not going to be one game like smashing them, but I think over two legs Chelsea will have the longevity to see out that group. Yeah, that's my consensus on their group.
Obviously, Matt, you were saying before we started that Chelsea have some tricky away games. Why do you think?
yeah, I don't think they'll struggle in that group. I think they'll definitely go through, but I'd just be concerned with these long journeys to Israel, for example, midweek. Unless you've got good squad depth, you're really gonna tire your squad out, taking them all that way midweek and then coming back and playing the weekend fixture. But I don't think Chelsea will struggle in that group, to be honest.
Do you think there'll be any little random upsets? It's always it happens every year. There's always like a little.
Yeah, it's always doable. I mean, the Tel Aviv team, I don't recall seeing them in the Champions League in recent years. Are they definitely?
Wow.
They won. I know they won the Israel. They won it a few times. They won the Israeli league, but I think they have to qualify. So
Yeah. I don't recall seeing them in the Champions League. But teams like that, they're going to come in. They're going to give it their all, and they're always capable of grinding out a result.
What do you think, Seb, about Chelsea's draw?
Yeah, it's relatively, well, on paper, it's like an easy draw. Would expect them to go through, win the home games like the other guys were saying. Like Matt just said, like they have got to travel to Israel, which is quite a distance. Gives Mourinho another excuse should they like lose that game on the weekend. No, I'm joking. But yeah, no, you'd expect us to go through, to be honest.
Hold up. In the Real Madrid PSG group, so PSG are the first tier team.
Yo. Perry.
Yeah.
Well, okay. We're gonna go to Arsenal, but we'll go to that group, Group A. We'll go to that group. Yeah, we got PSG came out pot one, Real Madrid come out of pot two, which is a bit crazy what Perry just mentioned. Shakhtar, Malmo. So yeah, I think PSG did come out of pot one. I'm unsure why Real Madrid were in pot two, but I'm confused by that.
It's done on the there's like a new rule this season, so it's all the league winners, I think, in pot one from the top
right.
seven leagues, I think. So that's why. So
yeah, so in that group, going back to Group A, PSG, Real Madrid, Shakhtar, and Malmo, you've got Ibrahimovic going back to Sweden. Potential banana skin for PSG and Real Madrid going over to Ukraine again, but yeah, I'm guessing we'd all agree that PSG and Real Madrid will get through that group.
Yeah, I would have thought so.
Yeah, I can't argue, man.
Okay, I was gonna get to the interesting group before we got to that of Group F: Bayern Munich, Arsenal, Olympiacos, and Dinamo Zagreb. Terry, talk to me about Arsenal's draw. Go on. I know you got a lot to say.
Nah, not really. I think it will.
Be as honest as possible.
I think Arsenal perform better when they have more formidable opponents in the Champions League. They have this constant like situation where they end up becoming a bit complacent when they draw smaller teams. We saw that last year. So I think drawing Bayern, it's not really a disaster. Like out of the English clubs, I think we got the hardest draw, but drawing Bayern, Olympiacos, Dinamo Zagreb, the group itself is a difficult group. But I think by Arsenal drawing more formidable opponents, I reckon that they'll take it a lot more seriously. They seem to have this complacency thing. We even saw it at the start of the season.
Yeah, with West Ham.
Like, do you know what I mean? So I think, to be honest with you, like, I don't see it as a terrible draw. I think it will bring the best out of the players, and then they'll take the group seriously from it off.
Although I'd imagine Arsenal are going to finish second in that group, I think the one problem is the teams that we're playing in that group are all winners. Like they're not used to losing. Like Olympiacos, they've won their league 5 times in a row. Dinamo Zagreb won their league 10 times in a row. Now, like the teams are
Olympiacos got a treble as well, man. This team, like, they're not they're not.
Christian, what do you think about Arsenal's draw?
yeah, I mean, having Bayern's not ideal, but in all fairness, I think I fancy Arsenal at home. I think what like Perry was saying, when you've got a good opponent, a strong opponent like Bayern, I think Arsenal will raise their game. So yeah, I think Arsenal will do well. I would probably agree that they'll probably still come second, but I don't think they'll have any problems against Olympiacos or Zagreb. To be honest, I think it should be fairly routine. And obviously, if you can beat Bayern at home, you might even be able to sneak through as winners. So,
Seb, what do you think? Bayern Munich, Arsenal, Olympiacos, Dinamo Zagreb.
Yeah, man, I agree with the other guys. I can see you definitely going through, probably in second place. Probably you have to win you will win the home games, I like to think, against Olympiacos and Zagreb. Hard away fixtures, but like Christian was saying, if you can win at least a home game against Bayern Munich, and then you're home and away against Zagreb and Olympiacos, then you can maybe nick going through in first place, which puts you in a better position. I know you've had a few bits of bad luck in the most recent years, drawing sort of bigger teams, your Barcelonas and whatnot in the last 16 stage. But maybe you can avoid that if you sneak that little first place.
Matt, can Arsenal win that group?
I think Bayern Munich is a no-brainer. I think they're going to win the group. I think it's going to be between you guys and Olympiacos to get the second spot. I can also see you guys potentially losing to Olympiacos if you're not careful. If you play like you have been recently in the league, I can see you getting caught out. But I know that when Arsenal play like they can do, there's no reasons why you're not going to get second spot or potentially even win the group. You've got the squad to do it. We just need to see a bit of change in attitude from the squad.
No one said Arsenal going to go out of the group, so I think we all think we'll get through. No one's tipped them to win. On paper, it looks like second place. So Group C. So I looked at this group and I saw it as like an East Europe versus West Europe. We got Benfica, Atletico Madrid, Galatasaray, and Astana. Did not know who they were. I had to Google them, and apparently they are the champions of Kazakhstan. And I'm so glad Arsenal missed out on that draw, because I just don't trust Arsenal going to Kazakhstan, to be honest. It could just be get a bit crazy. So
that's not. I was saying this. I was watching the draw earlier with my mates at work, and like, you do not want to be going to Kazakhstan. That's a trip.
No.
Why? Because of the journey distance, or what?
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
The safety of the team, or you mean like the
I'd
distance?
be concerned on so many levels.
Fair play.
Chris,
Borat did not sell that country well.
Chris, would you have trusted Chelsea on a cold night in Kazakhstan?
No, to be fair, I'm pretty glad Chelsea didn't get them. To be honest, yeah, I didn't know where they were until earlier. So yeah, Kazakhstan, I wouldn't have fancied that.
Do you know what? I might put a cheeky tenner on them to win the group. I might do it, man.
I reckon they might get something out of it. Like, they might get something from that group.
Okay, what are you thinking about Man City's group? Because
yeah, that's what I was going to go on to. We got Juventus, we got Manchester City, Sevilla, Borussia Mönchengladbach.
That is a group of death.
Yeah, that is.
It is.
You can't
Hey, what
write
do you
off
think?
any of those teams. I mean,
No.
Borussia Mönchengladbach finished third last year.
Yeah, they got a couple of decent players. They got
Yeah, they've got a young team.
brother. They got Hazard's brother. They got
Hazard's brother, you know.
Yeah, Thorgan.
What's his name?
Thorgan. Like Thor.
Even his name sounds dangerous. Is he good?
Chris, is Thorgan good?
Well, to be fair, he was at Chelsea for a little bit, but I don't think he ever played for us. Surprise.
Didn't they sign him just so Eden came and felt?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think
that is out of order. That is.
I think, but to be fair, I think he is quite good. He is decent. But he's decent at Borussia Mönchengladbach rather than Chelsea.
Like, what were the talks in the back room? Like, yeah, man, I don't know if he's oncoming. Like, you might have to sign his brother. Like,
I think he's got two other brothers as well. Like, we'll just sign your whole family. It's fine.
where's his brother playing? Yeah, sign his brother, man. Like, you sure? Yeah, get his brother. Like, wow, that is I would never even consider that as a ploy to get a player. Like, that's crazy.
This is Chelsea, man. Moving, they'll do anything to get a player, as we've seen in this whole John Stones situation.
Or even the rumours about them getting Fabregas's wife to talk to Pedro's wife.
Madness.
Oh my days.
That's how you sign a player, man. This is why Arsenal are stuck in the 90s with their classy way of signing players.
Too much honour, man.
Seb,
Too much respect.
what you saying about that group? Juventus, Man City, Sevilla, Borussia Mönchengladbach.
Yeah, that group, like Perry was saying, pretty formidable. I think after that, the second spot's up for grabs. Mönchengladbach, good young team. Obviously, we know about Man City.
Yeah.
And the other team, who was it? Sevilla, yeah, again.
I don't think they've been in. Unless I'm mistaken, I don't think they've been in the Champions League for a little while. I think that they've returned.
Well, you United fans, how well do you reckon Man City are going to perform? Because you know that we've seen them flop in the Champions League 2 years
That's what I'm thinking. They don't perform in the Champions League.
Yeah, but do you reckon that their time will eventually come? Because their team is obviously.
Yeah, they've got the depth. They've got the depth, and they got the squad to do it. They just need to do it.
Yeah, man, I think that's their main focus. That's what they've been pushing for in the transfer window. Like Kevin De Bruyne, they're looking to bring in as well. Looks all geared towards the Champions League, to be honest.
I've never
What do you
understood.
mean by geared toward the Champions League? What do you mean by that?
Just like a lot of continental players, like De Bruyne has experience in the Champions League, so just ready to go in, do the madness there.
Fair. So I'm interested, Chris. What do you think about this De Bruyne situation? Obviously, because he was at Chelsea before and all that. Like, and they just let him go, kind of willy nilly.
Yeah,
Man City getting a mad amount of money for him.
I'm surprised now he's suddenly worth like 58 mil.
It's not really worth though, is he? It's just Man City.
Well, okay, that's what they value him at. But I think, to be honest, I think it's ridiculous money. I don't think he's worth it. The whole reason he left Chelsea apparently was because he didn't like the fact that he was going to have to fight for his place and he wasn't guaranteed to be in the first 11, which he is at Wolfsburg now. And obviously he's shown how good he is. He's got 26 assists or something last season. So
Wow.
He had more assists than everyone, I think. Not only Messi had more than him, I think, from what I can remember.
Yeah, or something. He lots of assists, good few goals, 13 goals, I think it was, something like that. But if he goes to Man City, he's just going to be he's not going to be guaranteed. Like, where's he going to play? Is he going to drop Navas? That's the only place I can see him going on the right, because you've got Silva and then Sterling.
Do you reckon he's the real deal?
Don't know.
He looks to be now, man. Wasn't Mourinho saying recently, like, the move just worked out best for him? If he stayed at Chelsea, it would have been a block. He wouldn't have flourished like he has. Like you were just saying, Christian, like, the playing time's done him a world of good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you need to be playing, and he wasn't going to get that kind of game time at Chelsea. So obviously, he's showing what he can do now, and that's obviously why Man City won him. So.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how Man City will do in the Champions League. I'm very interested because I think that their squad is I like the way that their squad is set up. They've got the Arsenal 2004 set up, man, the physical mixture of the technical players, and I think that's prime for Champions League.
Definitely.
Their squad's built for the Champions. I don't know why they don't perform in the Champions League. I don't know if it's a managerial issue or just bad luck with their draws or whatever. But I feel like
the club's just new to the whole Champions League format, but I feel like they have to perform.
Yeah, but the players are. But a club is the players though, and the players are good enough to play in the Champions League, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I
get the feeling that if De Bruyne does go to City, that Wolfsburg have almost constructed their squad around De Bruyne, and they could potentially fall apart if he leaves, and then that leaves United in an even better position. Wolfsburg are how are they going to fill the gap of a player that's creating that many assists and scoring that many goals?
And they're not going to have time to replace him with the transfer window closing early next week. So
yeah, I was going to say we got into it's definitely interesting in that Group D, and I think we'd all agree that's the group of death. So at Group E, we got Barcelona, we got the European champions, Spanish champions, 5-time winners. We got Bayer Leverkusen, Roma, and Bate Borisov. I think they're from Belarus. Yeah, Belarusian champions. So I think that we'd all agree that there's a clear winner in that group. I don't know about the other three though. Anyone got any expertise on the Belarusian champions?
How are they? Wait, is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, Bate Borisov.
Oh, okay.
Bate Borisov.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I was coming pretty English with it.
Yeah.
Minimal pronunciation.
What do you reckon about that group? I would say Barcelona and Roma, but that's only because I know a few Roma players. I'm not too clued up on Bayer Leverkusen, honestly. But
yeah, I just said the same. Barcelona and Roma.
So,
yeah, I think Bayer Leverkusen. I think because they're selling their best player to Spurs, aren't they? So
to who?
To Spurs. That Son.
Spurs. Oh, Son. What's
yeah.
it called? Asian guy, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know how good they are otherwise. So yeah, I think Barcelona's.
Seb, you got any knowledge on Bayer Leverkusen or Roma? Who's
Yeah, I mean, Leverkusen was in our group a couple of years ago when we was in the Champions League last, and we beat them 5-1. So yeah, I mean, I don't think they'll offer a lot of resistance in that group, to be honest. Bayer Leverkusen. I mean, Roma got a settled team there. Should just go on and improve on last year's showing pretty much. So yeah, I think Barcelona and Roma really and truly from that group.
Yeah, that's what I would have said.
I can't even think of many of their starting players, man. None come to mind. So
I reckon Leverkusen are best known for getting to the final that year and Zidane scoring an absolute worldie of a volley. That's probably the most I know about them, really. Group H. So we got.
One of the like Benders there, Bender brothers.
Yeah, Lars Bender.
One of them plays for them.
Yeah.
And the other one plays for Dortmund. Was it Group H? We got Zenit, who Matt pointed out were Russian champions. We got Valencia. We got Lyon. So obviously Lacazette's gonna be in the Champions League. And was it Gent? Was it a soft G or a hard G? I'm not too sure.
Gent.
Belgian champions. Champions. Gent. That looks like another tricky group to me. I could not call top two in that group at all. Like, I'd imagine maybe Zenit, but
I think Zenit definitely are going to be in the top two.
I think Valencia can stick it on.
It's going to be between Valencia and Lyon. I think.
I think Valencia can give them. Valencia got us. Like, they look alright, man. Like Negredo, who I liked, is there. Who else they got? Who else in their squad?
Yeah, Valencia will have improved. They lost Otamendi, but Phil Neville's gone over there.
You got Phil Neville.
And yeah, apparently he's like just added a bit of competitive edge to the team as a coach, obviously. So yeah, we're looking to make waves in the Liga and Champions League this year, really.
They got Ferguli, danger man. I'm surprised Mustafi's still there, centre back.
Valencia losing Otamendi might be an issue because last year he was known as the guy who stopped all the big boys, isn't it? Like, that's what he was known for. That's kind of how he built up his little reputation so quickly. It's because he was known as the guy who could handle Messi and Ronaldo and stuff. And them losing him like that could be very costly in the Champions League, playing against all these big boys.
So guys, what are we saying about the eventual champions of Europe this year? Seb, who are you saying? I give you two. I give you all two, and we'll see who gets it right.
I want to say
something or something.
I think we'll see Barca in the final again. It's a hard one, man. I think Barca and Real are going to be there and thereabouts again once more. I don't think the English teams are going to trouble as yet. Maybe not this year. That's my opinion.
Perry, what you saying? This year?
It's hard to disagree with that, man. The only English team I can see doing. You know what? I think Man City is going to surprise people this year. You know, I think they will, man. I think they'll give Juventus a good run for their money, and obviously, you know, Juventus are a formidable opponent. But I think whether City end up second or first in their group, I think they'll get through, and then from there, I think this year they'll do something, man. City are sending statements out. The players that they're signing, they're sending clear shots. Like, they're sending clear shots out. I think if any English team will do any damage, I think it will be. Obviously, it's hard to count out Chelsea with Mourinho's record. But I think
a lot's going to depend as well on like what Arsenal and United do in the remainder of the transfer window.
Wenger's literally waiting till the deadline day.
It's his favourite day of the year. He feels so alive on that day. Maybe he does it for the adrenaline rush. Matt,
I'm not even getting started on this topic right now.
Matt, who's going to win the Champions League, man? Who are your tips? Can United do it?
I'm gonna say, but my safe option would be Barcelona. I think Barcelona have got it this year, but based on what I've seen so far in the Premier League, if they can maintain their performance, I honestly think Man City have got a shot. I'm just gonna put that out there.
But it's still early days, though.
Yeah,
Even
definitely.
though I'm just playing devil's advocate.
I
Yeah,
just
but based on the squad they've got, the depth and the players they've brought in, and the players that they've already got in that squad, they've got the foundations there to win a Champions
Say
League.
that Man City have any weaknesses.
No,
Not their previous experience in Champions League. That can be counted as a weakness, surely, though, isn't it?
yeah, but I just think I can't see any mental weakness in their side at this moment in time from what I've seen. I think they've come out strong and they're making statements. They've come out of this season with intent, and they're either going to win the Premier League or win the Champions League. Whew. I'm just gonna go for it.
You just said what I didn't want to say. That's what
It's
that big
easy
pause
to
was for.
say Barcelona or Real Madrid because they are, on paper they're going to be up there until the end. But
Man City don't go far, it's their own fault. That's something's wrong there if they don't go far with that team. That's how I see it. Chris,
yeah,
what are you saying about that?
I can imagine them having a lot of dressing room problems and stuff as the season gets on.
What, because of all the big names in there?
Yeah.
yeah, Chris, what do you think? Who's going to win the Champions League?
Yeah, to be fair, before
And before Chris
jumping
talks,
on the Man City bandwagon, but I probably was going to say I reckon Man City, like everyone else has said, they've got the squad there.
why has no one mentioned Chelsea?
Well, it's a
Nah,
bit bad
because
by
Chelsea
mentioning
always
Chelsea.
get through. Chelsea always get to the end, like near the end of the tournament.
Chelsea have a good draw, but
Chris, do you reckon Chelsea can win it?
I don't know. I feel like we can get semi-finals, maybe the final. Just right now, I don't know. I don't think we can win it. It always depends. It depends who you get in the knockout rounds and stuff like that. If you get relatively easy draws, then maybe.
the reason no one said Chelsea is because the way Chelsea play and the way that they've won the Champions League before. It's not, they don't go out and steamroll teams, innit? They go in
That's exactly it.
the
That's
defensive approach and they kind of grind out a win, which in your mind subconsciously you're not considering that with like domination. You're not considering that with
Yeah.
smashing the opponent, even though it might be effective. Like when you think about Chelsea in the Champions League, you just think of grinding out results, getting a defensive, winning them 1-0s and scraping through and stuff like that. So I think that's the reason why no one said Chelsea. Obviously, Chelsea are formidable. We know Mourinho is a guru with the European football and that. So obviously, Chelsea are going to be in the mix in it. But the reason I think no one said that is because of the approach that they take to European football.
Man. I think they make trouble as well, man. Pedro's given them a new dynamic. It looks like.
Do you reckon he's going to hold it up the whole season, though? Or do you
I
reckon
think Pedro could be special, man. I think he could.
you lot are getting too excited off of one game, man.
Nah, man.
This
I
guy,
wish.
this guy.
He's been kept in his cage at Barcelona.
Yeah, just like Sanchez was.
Yeah, on Saturday or Sunday even, he looked like I just animal let loose. That's why I was just looking at it like.
You reckon that he's really going to be damaging people like for the whole season? You reckon he's going to keep that up there?
This is the thing, like, when he was at Barcelona, he's behind Messi, Neymar, and Suarez, so you don't deem him world class. Same as Sanchez. Like, people didn't really call Sanchez world class when he's behind Messi and whoever else it was there at the time. But now Sanchez went to Arsenal, he's being called world class. I think the same thing applies to Pedro.
Yeah, he's out his cage. He'll be, I reckon, top 3 goal scorers end of the season.
What? Nah, you lot are nuts, man.
We'll see.
We're making claims tonight.
Big statement to be. I might as well make a bold statement.
And quickly, I want a one-word answer, one round up. I'm going to go through who you think's going to get the furthest out of the English teams. Go Seb. One word.
Man City, didn't want to say that, but next, go.
Perry.
Chelsea.
Matt.
Man City.
Chris.
I'm going to say Man City as well.
I'm going to go with Chelsea, but that's what I think. Anyway, that was a long discussion talking about the ins and outs of the Champions League draw. We didn't talk about who Liverpool got. Who did Liverpool get? Oh yeah, they're not in the Champions League. Oh man, I'm sorry.